Well, Mark, a rare home defeat today against Northampton Town. What are your immediate thoughts?
Look, it was a horrible game for many reasons, but we knew what to expect coming into it. We knew what to expect going to Newport. But good luck to both teams. I'll certainly never criticise anybody's style of play or anything. There's a million ways to skin a cat, and all we have to focus on is what we do, etc., etc. So. That was always going to be a really tough game. I don't think the elements helped either side. And again, I'm disappointed because we don't lose games of football. But again, we had a really good chance in the first half if we can get our noses in front, and we've been saying that a little bit. But overriding emotions are disappointment in the result, but really pleased with the effort and commitment from the team. There's no doubt about it. They run through brick walls for ourselves as staff and for themselves and for the club, and that's all we can ask from them.
With Northampton obviously coming into the game in good form, and as you alluded to, the style as well, was the first job to try and nullify that threat and then build on that?
Yeah, but some of it's completely out of your hands, Bob, because if you look at the last two games, there's many things you can do to try and stop the style, but it's very difficult when they've got players, and it's a huge asset. Why Stoke did it for years, when they've got a centre half who takes throw-ins on both sides of the pitch in both halves and puts the ball in the box with good pace and accuracy. It's really difficult. There's not a lot we can do. You know, we talked about not giving away throw-ins. This is kind of a micro criticism. If you look at Northampton in the second half, one thing I thought they were fantastic at, they didn't give us any throw-ins. Everything was kept in play, everything was turned into the channels, everything was put into that little box outside the corner of the box. So I thought we were a little bit naive in that in the first half, in how many times did we just aimlessly, touch it out for a throw-in, not go back to the keeper. It was a real good opportunity in the first half, whereas Fraser has it on his left foot and he's just going to, use his technique to put it back down the opposite end of the pitch. But we just play it out for a throw-in. So little things like that we can stop, but ultimately it's really difficult to stop certain things that they do. But I have to say, it's not good luck to them. They're very good at it. Without talking too much, when I got my job and I said to Keaton there, a really good friend that knows League Two inside out, said to me, you're going to be new to it, but when you play again, and he said about Northampton, they're really direct, really aggressive on set pieces, throw-ins all over. But guess what, Mark? They're brilliant at it, and good luck to them. But we have to make sure that we're better at what we do.
That said, how unlucky were we not to take the lead with the Conor Kirby effort, which you?
Yeah, look, I knew chances were going to be few and far between today, and what I'm really pleased about for Conor, I've talked to him this about a lot, and fans are going to have to understand where I'm coming from. We want to score goals, but the most important thing is that he gets into those positions, and I've spoke to him a lot about it, that I want to keep Conor. I think he's a really good player, but I said you've got to make sure that when people are coming to watch you, because they will, because he's not a player, shouldn't say this too loud, but I'm going to, is that they recognise the good things that he does. So he may not have goals to his name as yet. It's our job to get him the ball, to enable him to get big numbers in terms of final third entries, shots on goal, goals, assists, and he's continuously done that. So I was pleased that he was in there. The next bit is putting the ball in the back of the net.
As you said, the game had a chance, especially in that first half. It was rather like a war of attrition, wasn't it? How happy were you at the interval, and what was your message for the second half?
We just said the message was clear. We'd said, I'd spoke to Butts with about 10 minutes ago in the first half, and I said we're going to have to change at half time. We're going to have to go 5 at the back, a 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, however you look at it. And I just felt we had to get, because of the elements today added with their style, I thought it's going to be like the Alamo in the second half, which it was. So we had to get a more physical element to our game, and so that was the message really at half time. I still have a criticism. We need to be clever and better in our decision making and technique of what we're going to do to other teams. We didn't really hurt them technically in where we wanted the ball to go. Get down the sides of the centre half, turn them, get them playing towards their own goal, and then having the ability to play in their half. So frustrating.
Clearly it was disappointing to go behind in the manner that we did, but how well did you think that we reacted to it?
There's a plus and a minus of that, Bob, because we reacted really well, but I'm like, why does it take us to concede a goal to react like that? These are the things we've talked about, certainly for the last 2 games, what we're looking for. So that's kind of good to see, but it's kind of equally makes me more angry that it takes that. But I keep saying I can't fault the lads' effort and commitment and their drive, and their work ethic is phenomenal. The stats they put in when you look at physical stats after the game, they're absolutely phenomenal. I just need us to be a little bit more clever. And I'll give you a good example. When we played Forest Green, I said to the lads before the game, their striker, you don't even have to touch him. He will jump into you and fall on the ground. And in the second half, Corey is nowhere near him and he jumps into Corey and he gets a penalty. He's got 8 penalties this year. So we've got to be clever like that. I'm not asking the players to go down, but we've got to recognise what we're up against in the dark arts and stuff like that. I wouldn't call us a naive team, but I wouldn't call us a mature team.
In the latter stages, you brought on Jacob Blythe and Michael Rose. How did you hope that they would influence the game?
You've got to try something. We've got to do something. I'm not going to go through a game just hoping that it changes and it comes. So we just thought with Blythe up there, and we'd originally started with Arthur and Joe up there playing on their outside centre halves, looking to get Conor Kirby through the middle and that. And then in the end, we just felt it'd be better to get 2 big men up there and try and get runners off the back of them. And obviously, if we got ourselves down the sides, if we did get crosses in the box, we've got 2 6-foot+ lads who can attack the ball. So that was the thinking behind that. But it didn't happen in the end. There's no shying away from that.
One slight worry for the fans, and I'm guessing for yourself as well, is we named 3 outfield substitutes today.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any hint of any reinforcements coming out? I know the transfer window closed last night. We both up late, weren't we? But is there any idea that anybody will be coming?
Yeah. So to answer the first part of your question, Bob, Theo Archibald was been fit all week, and I get a phone call last night saying he's injured. So we won't go into the short and small of that, but he's injured, so he wasn't available today. As you've seen already, we've got Shiloh Tracy coming in on Monday, which I'm really, really excited about, because I've worked really, trust me, speak to Tottenham, I worked so hard to get him, so I'm chuffed to bits I've got him. And we've also got somebody else coming in, but when it's in and done and dusted, we'll let you know. So we have got 2 more players coming in, and to add to the squad, 2 really, really good players, 2 exciting players that'll get the fans on the edge of the seat, which is what I want. I got offered so many players in the window, in all types of positions, and he's a good player, but I don't want him. Why not? Because he's not the type of player I want. So I'm really pleased that the players we've got in are 2 players that I've particularly pinpointed, because they reflect my style of playing, how I want to play, and that's reciprocated in the fact that how I want to play reflects them. So they'll be in with us for next week.
And just finally, when we've done our interviews over the last few weeks, we've said about the opposition being in the playoff places or the automatic promotion places. 2 big games coming up now, 2 big away games as well, starting off with Leyton Orient. How crucial do you think they could be?
Look, every game is a cup final, there's no doubt about it. I don't like saying that, but because of where we are and the fact that we've come in when half the season is finished, every game is vital. But we've got through what was an incredibly difficult run of games. I knew that coming in, and the next 2 will be equally difficult for different reasons. But I keep saying that the games we expect to win, I know they're away from home, but we're expecting to go and win both. And I think since we've been in, we've proven nobody's come and played us off the park, nobody's rolled us over. We've seen completely different styles of play, and I think we've dealt with everything really, really well. What I'm really keen to do, which disappoints me, is I've not been able to put my stamp on what I want to do. We've had 4 training sessions on the grass. Even yesterday, we had no match prep for the game, through no fault of our own, no fault of anybody else's at the club, because we didn't know at the time who was staying, who was coming in, etc, etc. So going forward, we've got that, and I'm really, really looking forward to that, is to being able to get on the grass and coach and put a stamp on how we want to play.
And I guess as such, you'd be grateful for no midweek fixture this week.
Yeah, hence why I said we've only had 4 sessions. We had a lot of second day recoveries, match day -1s. We've had to give the lads days off when we want to get them in, because they've gone Saturday, Tuesday with a wafer thin squad. And but listen, I knew that when I came in, so it's not a problem. But we've got through that, and we're out the other side now. So we're really optimistic and positive for the forthcoming games.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thank you very much.